everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to show you 3 different ways of making these little fun fold cards that are perfect for gift card holders or to add to a gift basket or a plate of goodies that you made for someone. I mean, there are so many possibilities, and I'm going to show you 3 ways to make them. To make these fun fold cards, I'm going to be using a die set from Kokorosa called Kokorosa Metal Cutting Dies with Foldable Lace Borders. Now, you all know that I do honest reviews, so I'm pointing out that this die set came with 2 identical dies instead of 2 opposite dies. And I don't know if this was a mistake at the factory or if this is just how they come, but I'm only going to be using one of them. And I'm using 8.5 inch by 11 inch cardstock that I'm cutting down to 5.5 inches by 11 inches. And I'm using 2 different patterns. One will be the inside and the other will be the outside. And next, with the 11.5 inches across the top, I'm going to be scoring them at 5.5 inches. But if you don't have a scoring board, you can just fold it in half, creating a 5.5 inch square. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple of your questions right now. So, why were these done opposite? Why is this folded with that inside, this is folded with it outside? And the reason is because this die only goes one way. They don't have the opposite direction for that. So, when cutting it, we're going to have one on the inside and one on the outside. So, I'm going to put them together like this for you. Okay, there you go. So there's a pattern on each side. So that's the reason for that. Your next question is probably, why are we folding it in half? It's because I want this to be all one piece going both directions, as you will see in a minute. So what we're going to do is we are going to line this up. And hold on one second so I can get it just right to show you. Okay, we aren't going all the way to the cutting edge, because we don't want it to cut across the fold. Okay, I mean, we want it to cut to the fold. So that's what it looks like. And, okay, so I just wanted to show you that this is what the other side looks like, okay? And I really would rather tape it from the other side, just so I don't have to tape across the cardstock. But it's easier on this side to line things up. And it's taking me a while because I'm trying to not put my head in front of the camera. Anyways, this is going to allow it to be all one piece instead of 2 pieces that we have to connect. And this is a tip you can use when doing shaped cards as well, like if you were doing a heart and you wanted them to connect at the top. So I'm going to put this through. Because it's 2 layers, I'm going to put it through and then I'm going to turn the plates over, just because I am not sure if it's cutting all the way through the first time and I don't want to take any chances. So I grab both of these plates, not that one, but both of these, and I'm just going to flip it over. And look at that. I can see that it actually did cut all the way through, so I don't need to do this. Look at that. That die is so good, it cut through 2 layers of cardstock. And now watch the magic. It's all one piece. Of course, it's got purple tape on it, which should peel off nicely. It's supposed to anyway. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm going to do it slowly just to be sure. But doing it that way gives us all one piece instead of 2 pieces. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this one, and I'll be right back. Honestly, that's a really awesome die to be able to cut through 2 layers of cardstock. So I was quite pleased with how easily it did that. And this is how they're going to go together. So we're going to have this on the inside, that on the outside. Now, I am going to show you a slight flaw of doing the 2 together. So, let me see if you can see here. There, you can kind of see the score lines. but on the other side, you don't see them as well at all. So you're really going to have to pay attention when folding on this side. But on the other side, everything is just going to fold really easily. The score lines are very visible. So we just fold and fold, just like that. Now, I'm actually going to have to hold this closer to my face. So I'm going to do this one off camera on this side. And I'm going to go ahead and do all these folds, and I'll be right back. Okay, all of the pieces are folded. We are not folding on that center one. You want that space. So when you're looking at this, this is going to be a valley fold, a mountain fold, a valley fold. And the same on this side, a valley fold, a mountain fold, and a valley fold, leaving this strip in the center like that. And use your bone folder to go over all of the creases to make sure that everything smooths out. And for that crease down the center, which is basically going to be hidden when we're done, but just take your bone folder and go like this right along it to smooth it out. Okay? And now it is time to attach these two pieces together. So we will have a front and a back, and when it's folded, it will look like that. So it's beautiful, and then it opens like this. And since it's got pretty paper on the inside, it could actually sit like that. Okay, and then here is where you can either put a piece of cardstock that has a sentiment or an image, or you can create a space to put a gift card. This would be a perfect little gift card holder, or a perfect little card to go in with a little gift. And we're not done, because we're also going to be making a belly band. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The first thing we're going to do is be gluing these pieces together. And I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1. It's really easy. Just line them up right across the bottom. Now, there's another way to do this that I'm going to show you on another card, which is where you trim off some off the bottom and off the sides, slide everything down, and you kind of create a border all the way around. So that's another way to do it. But right now, we just want to make sure that everything is lined up in the right spot. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to speed things up here for you, okay? Okay, there we go. It is that easy to do this. So the next thing I'm going to do is create a piece to go right in here, add a little decoration. That's actually kind of the fun part, because if your crease is showing up here, so I'm going to do it like this, that's a perfect place to put a little decoration, whether it's a bow or some sort of, embellishment. That's a perfect place for it. So let me go get that ready, and we're going to finish this off. Okay, so you remember that there was a piece this size left over from both cardstocks, this pattern and the pattern we used on the inside. So I don't like to waste anything. So what I did was I cut a piece that was this size, which happens to be, I believe, 2.5 by 3 3/4. Back here, I'll just put it right up against that. Yep, that's what size it is. So I cut that out, and I use that to stamp the sentiment on the back side of it. Okay, and then with that cut off, I also cut off a piece for the belly band. And the reason why I cut that off first was so that I wasn't cutting a piece all the way down, and then there wouldn't be a big enough piece left over for that. So anyways, once that was cut off, then I cut off a piece for the belly band, which is 7 inches by 3/4 of an inch. And there was also another scrap that I cut using some decorative scissors that I'm going to be showing you what that's for here in a minute. And I still have stuff left over, but I don't like wasting anything. So that's what I've done, and I'm going to be gluing that right on the inside. And then this piece I'm actually going to be gluing in, and I'm going to put it on first actually. You want to glue it on or use a very fine double-sided tape, like 1/8 of an inch, because you want to leave enough room in here for the gift card. And if you're not sure about doing it on the sides, just do it right along the bottom, and then it'll still flip out just like that. So I'm actually going to do it just along the bottom. And so I'm going to do that first so that it could be drying. So there we go. And I'm going to put it on here, and I use the pattern paper so that you can tell that it is a different piece, and that's also why I use the decorative scissors, so that you could see that there is a pocket right here. So I've got that on, got everything all lined up, and I'm going to set that aside just for a minute because we are going to do the belly band. Now, usually I don't measure a belly band exact. What I normally do is lay whatever I'm going to use it on top of it, and then I just fold it over and fold it over like so, and go, okay, I've got it right where I want it. And so I'm just going to add a little glue on this side and slide this back in again. Bring the pieces back together and line it up. And there's my belly band. And now I'm going to slide that out because I don't want to put pressure on it while it's drying. And I have this little snowflake on some glitter paper, glittery snowflake on glittery gold. I thought it kind of went good with the gold and the snowflakes on the paper. And I'm going to put that right over that seam. So I'm going to just glue it right on there. And I'm putting it on here because that little piece is actually bigger. So if I put the glue on the back of that, it would end up gluing itself to the card. Okay. So I'm going to get that on there and do my best to get it centered. And now I'm going to let that sit aside and dry for a second. We're going to go back to this, and I'm going to be gluing this in. And then I'm going to grab a gift card. Now, I actually don't know. I think I do have a real gift card. I will go grab that here after I get this in. That way this can be drying. So I'm going to bring that right down to the bottom. Make sure that that's in there really good. Make sure that everything is lined up. That's why I like using my beacon, because if I would have used double-sided tape, it would have been a done deal. But getting it all lined up there. And also, for up here at the top, I have a cute little bow that I'm going to put right up there. So I'm going to do that right now. Also, get my glue on there. And just kind of center it right there. Okay, so we pull it up there. So that looks like that. And then when you open this, you see the sentiment, except in this case there's going to be a card in front of it when they pull the gift card out. Then they'll see the sentiment, and I even left room right there for you to sign your name. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, I am back with a gift card, and we are going to put this all together so you can see what it's going to look like. So the gift card is going to slide right in there, and you can't see it from the outside. And the belly band is just going to slide right on here, like so. And there is a wonderful gift card or gift card holder, however you want to do it. It is so pretty. And then this just slides right off. the recipient says, "Ooh, look at that, a gift card." And then they pull the gift card out and there is their Christmas sentiment. So, of course, this is good for any occasion. I'm just doing Christmas right now because I'm in a Christmas mood. And we're nowhere near Christmas. But now I'm going to show you how to do one a little bit different. Okay, so what do you do if you're using an 8.5 by 11-inch piece of cardstock, but there is a definite pattern going this direction? So you can't fold it in half and do it, otherwise your pattern will be going the wrong way. That means that you're going to have to cut it out in 2 separate pieces and put it together. Now, this won't fit through my Cuttlebug. It will fit through my Cut and Boss. But to make it fit through my Cuttlebug, I'm going to go cut this off and make this 6 inches. And I'll be right back. Okay, so there we go. I cut that piece off. And this piece is ready to cut. So I'm going to place this on there right where I want it. And trying to get it as close to the edge as I can. And I think that's probably about right. Okay, so I'm going to run this through. So right now, there's our first piece. And we can't do that again, because if we did, that's what the other side would look like. So our pieces would go together like that. You don't want that. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to turn this over facing the other way. And you want to make sure that everything is facing the right way. So there we go. Not upside down. And I will tell you that I did make a mistake and make one upside down. All right, so now that we have this going the right direction, and let me get it all lined up nicely here. Okay, we're going to run this through. Now I can already hear you saying, okay, we have 2 separate pieces. How do we make them one piece? Now some of you may be having some ideas of your own, but I'm going to tell you one way and show you one way, because let me grab the right piece here. Okay, so those 2 pieces don't exactly match up pattern-wise, but keep in mind that you're going to be covering this with a gift card or a sentiment. And actually, that may even be the wrong piece, since I cut out 2. So what you can do is you can actually put double-sided tape on the back side to hold it together. But I'm going to show you another way. Okay, here's this piece that has been cut and folded just like the first one that we did. And then here are these 2 pieces that are going to go on the inside, and it's super easy. All you have to do is just line them up and glue them inside. Just like the other one, only that this is cut in half. And, you know, you're going, oh, but look at that. That's horrible. They don't match up in the middle. Well, don't forget that you're going to be having something. Let me grab this just to show you. You're going to have something on the inside that's going to be covering that up, and then you can put an embellishment right up there and cover that up. And so that would just be super easy to do. But I'm going to show you something else. So I'm going to show you how to create a border. So let me grab my paper trimmer and we'll get to it. Okay, I've got my paper trimmer. I'm going to set these 2 pieces aside. Now what I'm going to show you, if you want to do it with the inside pieces or the outside pieces, it's up to you. I kind of like the way the outside looks with the border showing that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece right here, and I'm going to trim 1/4 inch off the bottom. So let me get this stuck in here, and it is at 5 1/4, so I'm going to move it up to the line for 5 and make sure that everything is lined up perfectly. Probably be easier if I just folded this thing in half because I do want to make sure that everything is exact. And it looks like it is. So we're going to call it good. And I'm going to cut that strip off. Okay. Now on the ends, and actually I'm going to fold it in half to do the ends, just so I don't have to open my cutter out. I mean, it does open all the way out, but I'm not. So I'm just going to fold this in half like so. And actually I should have done it. I can see that it's not even right there. So hold on a second. I'm going to stick this back in here and even that up. Okay. Now, this way I'm going to just do 1/8 of an inch. So we are at 5.5, and I'm just going to see, where's the 1/8? Right there. It'd be easier to turn it this way. Glad you guys are really patient with me. Thank you. Okay, so let me see. So it's right there. So I'm going to go up 1 little dot, 2 little dot, right there. Now it's up to you on how much border you want, but this is what I'm doing. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. Okay. So it's going to be kind of awkward, only because I am doing this from the back side. And that isn't exactly how I did it on the other one. So this is a challenge. I think I'm going to, for this purpose, kind of turn it a little bit. All right. So there we go. So I am going to put the glue on this, on that side, and then attach it there. And then we're going to do the same thing with that one. So let me just open this up and grab my glue. And then we are going to, I grabbed the wrong one. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we are going to attach this, making sure that it's right where that fold is. Okay, so you don't go past that fold. And making sure that all the pieces fall into place, and then turn it over to make sure that all of that is showing just right, which it is. And so just press everything down, make sure all the little panels are adhered, and then fold it up, making sure everything lines up. And now we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. And here, this one is finished with its belly band. And you open it up. I put a little ornament up there at the top. It actually has a little hanger on it, like it's hanging. And that is how easy that was. And these are perfect for like little gift baskets that we, give at Christmas, when we make little goodies to give our neighbors or our friends at church. And this would just be really cute to put in there. So now for the last one I'm going to show you. I'm using double-sided paper. It was 12 by 12, so I just cut it so that it's 5.5 by 12. Really only needed it to be 5.5 by 11, but to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that, and I'm going to go ahead and score it in half at 6. And now it's time to die cut. Just like with the first one, with the fold up here at the top, like that, we're going to take the die, and we are going to line it up just like the first one, so that it doesn't go over the end of the die. And I'm just going to put that down and add some purple tape just to hold it in place, because we don't want it moving around. And it cut just as beautifully through that as it did the other ones, so I'm going to get the tape off from this one side, put this stuff away, and we're going to come back and finish this card. And you fold it, and it is beautiful inside and out with just the one layer. And then I used cutouts from that paper pack to use in here, and it is the Prima Marketing Rose Quartz Paper Pack. Not sure if you will be able to find it. I've had it for quite a while, but I love it, and I just happen to have purchased quite a bit of it. Well, I purchased 3 of everything because I loved it and didn't ever want to run out, ever. So, this is what's going on the inside. Choose kindness. And I thought that was a good message, and it's beautiful. So it's going to go right here on the inside to help cover up that seam. And like I said before, where did I put it? Okay, here we go. You can always go through with a bone folder, and you can almost make that completely disappear. So let me make sure I've got this lined up in here nicely. There we go. And then I always like to put something up here at the top where that's open. And I wasn't sure. I have 2 things. One of them is a bow that I can just put a bow there. The other one is a flower. Since this won't be mailed, you know, I could put a little flower up there, or I could put a flower on top of a bow. But I think I'm just going to go with a bow, and I'm going to trim these little ends down just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. I think they were a little bit too long. Okay, get a little bit of my glue here. Come on. Okay, and just put this bow, whoops, part of my bow got tucked inside. There's supposed to be 2. There we go. It's a double bow. So I'll just stick that right up there at the top. Make sure that that is pretty centered. Okay, so there's the bow and that. And wow, this one isn't Christmas themed. How did that happen? Well, I thought you guys might like to see something not Christmassy. Oh, let me see if I can get this on here. Hopefully I didn't move it while it was still wet. Oh, nope, I didn't. Okay. So, there we go. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And this was so easy. Double-sided paper and the cutouts that came with the paper pack. So here are just a few ideas of what you can do with these. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to come up with some ideas of your own. Thank you all so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope the video wasn't too long, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, below in the description box, you'll find links to Kokorosa, as well as my page on their website that includes the die that I used today, and there's also a 25% off discount code for you. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.